Hello, my name is Jamie and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Unlike any other YouTube channel that showcases Pokemon Go PvP content, mine exclusively showcases Shadow Pokemon. So, if you're into that type of content, I'd appreciate if you could like and subscribe. So, let's get into today's video. In case you're wondering, my ELO, I currently lost about 350 points. I think I did 9 or 10 sets attempting to run Shadow Hariyama. I can honestly say that's probably the worst investment I've ever made, as it doesn't even beat Dialga in the 0 shield, 1 or 2 shield, which is absolutely fantastic. However, what I did notice is as I've been leading Shadow Dragonite, there's been nothing but steel leads, and I've been seeing a lot of Yveltal in the back. So that gave me the idea to try out Shadow Gardavoir. So the team we're bringing today is going to be a Shadow Machamp lead, which obviously does beat Dialga. We're going to have our big thick boy Shadow Snorlax on the safe switch, running a standard moveset of Lick, Body Slam and Superpower. And we're going to have the Queen of Carnage, Shadow Gardavoir, running Charm, Synchronoise and Shadow Ball. This was a set I did last night, and let me tell you, this is going to be the quickest set in Master League you're ever going to see, as this thing gives out absolute destruction. So let's get into the battles. In this first matchup, we pick a fantastic lead. We see Shadow Machamp into Dialga. They safe switch Machamp, and this is where Gardevoir comes in. Machamp gets off the rockslide, which doesn't do a lot, and then a few charms and this Shadow Machamp is out of there, straight in and straight out. They bring back in Dialga, and you can see this charm is absolutely shredding. They allow us to get to our moves. We fire off the Synchronoise. This draws a shield, and we get the Dialga down below half health. We wait out a switch timer, bring in the Machamp, charge move coming through, we're going to shield this up. They actually throw a Draco, we manage to counter down, so we're in even shields, and in the back they've got a Snorlax Shadow of their own, so a pretty cool team. The opponent's almost running a mirror of ours. This first cross chop gets the shield, this second cross chop's going to do a lot of damage. Gets the Snorlax down deep into the yellow. We switch out into our own Snorlax and opponent backs out. GG's to that opponent. So moving on into this next battle. We've got a Machamp into a Yveltal. This is not a bad lead. Obviously we do have to be careful of the Focus Blast. However, these counters are really chunky as they do hit for neutral due to the flying dark typing. So we build up to the rock side and we bait with a cross chop. Opponent shields it up and we now get to a second cross chop. This should get the Yveltal quite low, which it does. Opponents are 8 Snarls. They're actually a back-to-back Dark Pulse. They obviously have got the energy for a Focus Blast, but I'd call the bait. We get a counter through, so we can now shield this next Dark Pulse up and we can counter down, which we do here, and we leave with a cross chop loaded. Opponent brings in a Ho-Oh. We get a little bit of lag, but we manage to get to this rock side, which I imagine will draw the shield, which it does. We're now going to let our Machamp go down. The Ho-Oh's got quite a bit of energy. We didn't switch out as obviously the fire type would mean it resists charms. So we want to bring in our Snorlax. Opponent builds up quite a lot of energy, but Snorlax is thick. Earthquake and Brave Bird. We can tank them both. Opponent goes for the Earthquake. We're timing our Body Slams to not give away any free Incinerates. Body Slam coming through. Does a nice chunk to the Ho-Oh. They're now firing off another charge move. Again, we're not going to shield as we believe our Gardevoir will have enough to close. Opponent instantly swaps out and in the back is a Dialga. So you can see by the time it gets to the Iron Head, it's already deep into the yellow. So we're going to have to shield this up, commit to the charm down, and we're going to have a Shadow Ball loaded to finish off this Ho-Oh. Ho-Oh comes back in, Shadow Ball coming through. This Shadow Ball is going to be more than enough to take it out. So you can see there again, Gardevoir making quick work. GG to the opponent. Off to a 2-0 start, and we meet another Dialga lead. The opponent switches out into Mewtwo. We count this up to 5 Psycho Cuts and we attempt to catch the Psy Strike. Opponent doesn't throw. We meet the Mewtwo with our Gardevoir. We are going to have to shield this up respecting the Shadow Ball. Opponent's at another 6 Psycho Cuts, so we're going to have to go down 2 shields. However, this isn't a problem for us as we've got almost full health and we've almost got a charge move loaded on Gardevoir. No matter what comes in, we are going to grab shields back as Gardevoir hits like an absolute truck. Back in comes the Dialga, which can only mean they've got a Giratina in the back, so we're in a great position. Charge move coming through. This will be the Iron Head. As you remember, we have got a cross chop loaded. So this Gardevoir's took out 1.5 Pokemon. We wait out our switch timer, we bring in Machamp. So what you're going to see here is the invisible Pokemon glitch. I wait out my switch timer, I bring in the Machamp. You can now see that I've got no Pokemon, I've got no switch menu, I'm just tapping and it's a blank screen. I guess what we're seeing here is visual lag. I'm not really sure. You can see I'm tapping the screen, there's not a lot happening. At this stage, I think the only way to get back into the game is to reload the app. So I am obviously still waiting it out, trying to see if I'm going to get brought back into the game. I'm unsure at this point if it's mutual lag or it's just a glitch on my end. I've been experiencing this a bit. I know a lot of other people have as well. It's a really annoying glitch. I did actually tag Niantic on Twitter and they did respond. Apparently it is a known issue and something they're looking into. So you can see how I reload the game. And even that's taken a while. We go back into the battle and you can see there that my opponent very kindly just Dragon Breath down my whole team. So it looked like Snorlax would have been in a great position to close out. However, it's not meant to be and we are 2-1 for the set. Going into game 4, we pick up a great lead with Machamp into Melmetal. We safe switch our Snorlax into the Giratina safe swap and the opponent says no thank you and back out. GG's to the opponent. So after having a really rough glitch in the last game, we pick up a great matchup. Moving on to this next battle, we led our Shadow Machamp into Mamoswine. Obviously this was a fantastic lead. They safe switch Machamp into our Machamp and we bring back in Gardevoir. Gardevoir deletes Machamp. Opponent's waiting out the switch timer and they've actually got a Metagross in the back. This is something we didn't expect to see and is a bit of a problem for our team. So Metagross ahead on energy, we obviously bring in our Snorlax. I'm going to shield up this first move. These super effective licks are really starting to chunk. You can see the Metagross is getting quite low. We're going to have to let this next move come through. We will survive. We actually CMP tied with a body slam. I think it's a bit of a mistake. I should have thrown the superpower. However, we both simultaneously swap at this stage and they bring back in the Mamoswine. So Machamp gets to this cross chop. This is definitely going to grab the first shield. And we get to another cross chop. Opponent sneaks a powder snow through, but we do manage to take the last shield. Looks like the opponent's trying to build up energy for the back-to-back, which is right here. Machamp's got the Mamoswine super low, so I'm going to let this move come through. I'm going to shield this move up with our Snorlax. We're going to commit to the lick down and look to superpower this Metagross. You can see there our best buddy IVs on the Snorlax really come in clutch. We survive with a couple of HP and we fire off this superpower into the Metagross for the win. GG's to the opponent. So you can see there we pick up a 4-1. Obviously we did have a glitch in the other game. I think they probably had Giratina on the back, so it could have been a 5-0. But either way, we start to recover some of the points that we did lose running the Shadow Hariyama. And I can honestly say this is probably the quickest set of battles I've ever done in the Master League. As Shadow Gardavoir goes on an absolute rampage. Absolutely chunks absolutely everything. Even stuff that resists it, the charms do really chunk. So if you've got access to Gardevoir, I think it's a great alternative for Togekiss. And I'd just like to say thanks for watching and I'll see you all in the next one.